Welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Serpent, and if you do enjoy the videos, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. It's a brand new week and we are set. Very interesting what is happening out there in the market today. And as predicted, when it comes to XRP, not much has been going on, at least at the time of making this, right? Because everything changes very rapidly. But not the typical Monday drop-off that we usually see. We've had, like an average sort of Monday, and some of the coins in the top 100 are actually starting to move and make some interesting moves, right? Phantom has overtaken VeChain, but obviously we know VeChain took quite a hit at the moment, right? So it is very fascinating what is happening out there in the marketplace, but I find that, going back to basics when it comes to your portfolio and figuring out why you got something in the first place, right? Some of you might be holding this token now, or this coin, XRP. You might be holding it for 12 months, 15 months, some of you 3 years, some of you 4 years, right? Like since all the way back to 2017. And so it's really important to go back and figure out why it is that you bought it in the first place. After the hype and the excitement of getting something like XRP, when prices don't go your way, or, you had certain expectations for something and it doesn't meet those expectations, it's good to go back and figure out why it is that you got it in the first place, right? You hear a lot of people often speak about, oh my God, I sold it and then it pumped. Like, how many times have you heard your friends, family, loved ones say, oh my God, I had it for a year and then, I sold it and 2 weeks later it pumped. It's, time in the market will always beat timing the market. And then there's no truer words have ever been said than, XRP. Because it is a frustrating thing to hold. There's no doubt about it. And so if you're going to continue to hold, right? Because, it doesn't look at the moment like, the explosion, like you're not going to get an explosion in price action in the next 3 or 4 days, right? So you're going to end the year with something that is sitting maybe like at $1.20. We'll talk about the pricing in a moment about, where, we're going to finish the year, where I think we're going to finish the year. And again, it's not financial advice, I'm not a financial advisor, but, we're going to give you my perspective about where roughly we're going to finish on the 31st. But it's really important to, get a really good understanding about what it is that you hold and what you're going to be holding in 2022. Because it is powerful. Very powerful. If you do stick around for the whole year in 2022, I think you're going to be very happy to do so. So I do encourage you to go down to the first page on Ripple.com and click the download button on the CBDC report, because it's going to be an important aspect of the price of XRP in 2022. Now you have to give your details. Just give your details or give your non-primary email address. It's really simple to do, but I highly encourage you to do this, right? Now we know that a whopping 1.176 billion XRP worldwide by Ripple, if you heard, the previous night's video, because the on-demand liquidity hub is about to launch, right? It says that it's going to launch in January, right? That was sort of the time frame that Ripple have given us. Now, you know what it's like with time frames, right? They say that, but let's see, right? I mean, we never know, right? There can be delays. All sorts of things can happen. So just be mindful that, they said January, but first quarter for sure. But you can tell how fast they're moving and how much coin they're moving, that January looks very likely for this to be the time that it happens. So it's very fascinating. And I can't wait, honestly, to learn more about it, right? Because they're keeping very much to themselves at the moment about how it's all going to work. Now, Twitter is one of those places that it is important, to keep up to date and learn as much as you can about the different coins that you hold. And I will be doing a video later this week on how I research and how I do things, right? And Twitter is definitely one of those places that you do want to keep an eye on, but I'll show you guys how I do some of my own research. Now, when we talk about price predictions for 2022, FX Empire, shared this article about, going to the $5 levels. And I think that's ridiculous, right? I don't understand where they go with something like this. And they're talking about, a case settlement will give XRP a $5 price. There's no way, right? They could not be more far off about where it's going to be. So part of that research video is to talk about news websites like this, because if you're only getting your information from one channel, from one news source, you are in trouble indeed. Now, I like this particular graph And like we've been talking about, $15 to $16 ranges, right? And I don't come up with these things out of thin air. Like I don't wake up one day and be like, yeah, I think today I'm going to talk to them about $15 to $16. I've been talking about $15 to $16 from like probably September, right? September, maybe even July. Like it's been that long that I've been talking about it. And the reason is this, right? When you look at the 1 month, the XRP versus USD, resistance 1, resistance 2, then when we go to resistance 3, that's roughly where we're going to end up. And that's that. And these are pretty accurate, right? I mean, if you look at the previous, previous things that have occurred, the sort of strength that they've had and how they happen and how they occur, $15 to $16 for me personally is something very, very achievable throughout this bull run, with or without the SEC, believe it or not, right? We're talking about fundamentals here. We're not talking about the SEC settlement and having legal clarity. That's a whole different ball game. We're talking about with or without the SEC. I can see this happening. Now, I've recently had quite a number of you talk to me about, why is there such a discrepancy between a lot of you across social media, across the YouTube and TikTok, right? Some people are talking about $1,000 XRP coin. Why do you not talk about $1,000 XRP coin? Look, when you look at the mathematics, right? I got you this just for where people are trying to come up with that particular $1,000 price action, right? So the banking payment settlement uses the old technology Swift. Swift does 1.2 quadrillion a year. The Swift payment system takes 3 to 5 days. XRP uses an on-demand liquidity product, cross borders in less than 5 seconds. Now, $1.2 quadrillion would equal a $12,000 per coin XRP, but that would be the full monopoly of Swift. But so let's assume that XRP just captures 10% of the Swift, then it would make it a $1,200 per coin. So that's how these sort of theories around $1,000 coin come out. Now, I don't live in the clouds, right? This channel was never started to live in the clouds and, give you guys, videos that talk about 1,000 and all of that, right? I'm more of a realist. Like my approach is a realistic approach. Now, we cannot talk about 1,000 if we've never even cracked $5 yet. That, to me, it just does not make sense. And let's be honest, when it comes to the Swift system, do you think the Swift system is just, simply just going to hand over 10% of their revenue overnight? So patience is very, very important. Does XRP have the potential to do what is stated here in this tweet? Yes, it does have the potential to do that. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you that something that at the moment is sitting 92 cents is going to go to $1,000, because people, I'm sorry to say this if it offends anybody, but people are stupid, right? So if I come out on social media, on a channel like this with 39,000 subscribers, and I come out and say that you could potentially get yourselves, you could get yourselves into XRP and that it will reach 1,000, some people are going to go sell their houses to do this, right? What happens when it doesn't happen? So please, why am I showing you this, right? Only invest what you can afford to lose. Cryptocurrency is the riskiest asset of them all. There is nothing more risk. There's nothing that has more risk at the moment from a financial wealth creation point of view than cryptocurrency. So do never, ever put money that you can't afford to lose. Ever. I don't care how much you believe in it, how much you believe in the product, how much you believe in the company, how much you believe in whatever cryptocurrency you're in. Only put in what you can afford to lose. Please, if you can do me one favor, only ever put in what you can afford to lose, because anyone who comes out and tries to tell people confidently that this is where this is heading in the not too distant future is playing a big gambling game with people's lives, because people will overinvest. And I do never want you guys to be in that position. So please make sure, like I said, just be careful with what you do and how you go about it, right? And don't overinvest in 2022. Like, if you could do me that favor, that will be much, much appreciated. Of course, we're going to talk about where we're going and how that's going to look like, and how do we get to double digits and all that. Of course, we're going to talk about that. Like, that's, like nothing changes for me. Now, I found this pretty interesting, right? Could have been a glitch. But it was on the 23rd of December, SEC versus Ripple, legal fight is over. And then it got taken down. Mistake, warm up, who knows, right? But that would have been pretty cool That would have been pretty cool if it happened on December 23rd. But it will be, for me personally, my personal opinion is a settlement or a win. That's the only two options that we're going to get. I don't think we're going to get any other options at the moment. And that's, again, personal opinion, right? All the indicators look really, really good at the moment as far as what we hold and what I think is going to happen as we approach 2022. And we've got a little nice cup and handle forming that's going to take us all the way to $1.23. But before that, let's jump into a ton. Let's have a look at some indicators. As we begin to look at the indicators, in particularly at the moment, what we're looking for is we're looking on the daily. And you can see that the MACD is strong. We're sitting at 0.61% up. So unlike some of the others in the top 100, not much move has been going on. Not that we expected a lot of moves to happen around Monday. But the MACD is bullish. The RSI is sitting towards the middle. Now, as we start to look at from an hourly perspective, you can see that the hourly is just starting to come out of the Bollinger Band. But like I said, very, very slow at the moment. Now, I do believe that based on the indicators that we're looking at the moment, you can see that the 12-hour turned bearish, which I expected it to because there wasn't going to be much movement going on. But what I think at the moment is going on is I think that we are getting ourselves ready to make that push above $1 and then to begin to push towards $1.20 to $1.30. I think we'll end the year somewhere around there if we can continue this positive momentum. Now, Bitcoin has just gone into 51,000. I believe that we are starting now to see the momentum shift occur, which we were expecting on the entire industry to finish the year strong and begin January in a very, very, very strong position. But let's have a look at some drawings about what are some of the likely outcomes. Now, as we begin to look at the drawings, like I mentioned, I think that we are making a move towards $1.35. We're making that move now. We're going to be riding this wave and head towards that. Are we going to get there before, New Year's Eve? I'm not 100% sure yet on that particular detail. But I believe right now we are setting ourselves up to make that move. Of course, going above $1.05 and consolidating above $1.05 will get us ready to go towards that $1.15, which is an important milestone, and then go towards 135. So I believe that is the type of move that we are getting ourselves ready for before we start to break out and start to go towards the bigger targets which we have, which is obviously getting to the previous all-time high, breaking it, and then going into the $5 to $6 range, and then consolidating for a little bit, and then breaking out into the double digits. Plan hasn't changed. How are we going to get to that $1.32 to $1.35? Somewhere along these lines, I think, we'll finally see that break towards $1.12, bounce around a little bit on it, and then come around and move towards $1.32. Should we go down, we'll go to 87, 85. As I mentioned, we didn't. No, we haven't. We haven't had that yet. We had a low of just 90 cents and a high of 92. At the time of making this already, we started to spike a little bit. We got 1.30% up. But it'll be interesting by the time the video goes live where we're at. But overall, I believe that maybe 90 cents has become our new support, which is very, very interesting, very, very fascinating. And then we start to move towards $1.32. And you know what? I'm going to be with you every single step of the way. If you learned something new today, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. As always, thank you, and I look forward to see you on the next one.